it's Shakaya from Earth Empress, and I want to talk to you today about the disease of queens. What do I mean by that? And why queens as opposed to empresses? So I want to share with you my take on why I don't ever want to be a queen, why I never want to be called a queen, and why I'm really not attracted to the energy of a queen. And what is exactly that? What is the distinction between a queen and an empress? And what is the disease of queens? So first let's start with why I personally would not want to be in the energy of a queen or associated with that energy, and what is the energy of a queen. So in my mind, a queen is someone who's very duty bound and lives in a way that I find very cold, austere, rigid, very much in the intellect, and not in a way that's the way that I want to live, which is more from my spirit, my intuition, my heart, my soul, and very much in my body. And the energy of an empress, she is very in her body. That's the whole idea of sensuality. Sensuality is not sexuality, although the two, they do combine very nicely. It's not about being sexual when you're sensual. Sensual means when you are in your body and you are informed by your senses. And an empress, she feels very good in her skin. She's informed by her body. She's in touch with her pleasure, and her pleasure guides her. Her intuition guides her. Feeling good and radiant and vital guides her. Whereas a queen is very cut off. And why I was talking about disease of the queen is because in ancient times, the people who were often overweight were the kings and the queens. They were the only ones who could really afford to indulge and overindulge. And in fact, you know when you see those Buddhas, and they're always depicted with those big bellies and they're smiling, that's not actually Buddha. It's actually another saint, I think Nitho or something, and he actually represents prosperity because it's sort of a symbol of overindulging, and that's what they kind of associate prosperity with. So that's not even actually the Buddha. But why I'm talking about this is because maybe we'll go inside if it gets really noisy out here, but I just love being out here with you. The disease of queens and kings is all about overindulging. That was considered prosperous. And really, it's up to each one of us to define for ourselves what is prosperous to us. And in my journey, I'm in my 50s now, and I have really contemplated this, coming from a history of living on the streets in my teens and being an orphan and what I called a slave girl, to now what I call an Earth Empress, which every woman is an Earth Empress, or could be if she wants to be. My definition of prosperity is really based on quality over quantity. So this it runs through the fabric of my entire life. And I really feel that sometimes less is less, but very often less is more in terms of quality over quantity. So in terms of my diet, I only eat once or twice a day. In terms of my wardrobe, I have a very limited amount of pieces. And if you notice my videos and photographs over the years, you'll see I tend to always wear the same jewelry and very much often the same footwear and the same clothing even. And that is because, although I'm not a total minimalist, I do go towards that aesthetic. Even though I'm an empress, an Earth Empress, an Earth Empress is very earthy, very grounded in the here and now. And so she's very regal and prosperous, but that doesn't mean in a way of excess. It's more in a way of having exactly what you need, and really not more than that, because more than that it's excessive, and the disease of queens, or the disease of kings and queens in the past, was overindulging and excessiveness. And excessiveness, especially in our diet, for example, leads to disease. So I'm starting a new group, and we are going to be exploring how to actually really be an earth empress, and to switch from excess and clutter and debris and just overindulging in things that we're trying to overcompensate for, to more streamlining and having always and only exactly what we want and need, to not only survive but to thrive. And this is going to be in all the sanctuaries of self-care, in our diet and in our body and in our wardrobe. And for those of you who are very interested in up-leveling and becoming more of who you are, we are going to strip away what isn't that. We're going to strip away what isn't essential to that and what isn't essentially you, and get down to the very essence of you. And that is where all the beauty and the magic and the radiance and the power really is. So you can read more about this below, and I look so forward to engaging with you in this new paradigm of quality over quantity, and really being the Earth Empress, and letting go of excess and the disease of queens, and enjoying more of a sensual, beautiful, powerful, loving, vital, exciting, purposeful, happy life.